In Dragon Ball, fusion evolved from spiritual Namekian merging to reality-warping multiversal combinations. From permanent assimilation between warriors of the same race to dance-based fusions that create entirely new beings, each level represents an exponential leap in power and complexity. Today, we're breaking down 7 levels of fused characters across the Dragon Ball franchise, showing how fusion techniques grew from ancient Namekian traditions to god-tier transformations that transcend dimensions. Let's get started. Level 1. Namekian Fusion, Spiritual Assimilation. Namekian Fusion represents the oldest and most spiritual form of combining warriors. This technique predates the fusion dance and Potara earrings, existing as a sacred Namekian ability passed down through their culture for generations. The process requires one Namekian to place their hand on another's chest. The assimilated Namekian's body and consciousness merge completely into the dominant warrior. Unlike other fusion methods, this creates no new being instead. The stronger personality remains in control while gaining the assimilated warrior's power, knowledge, and memories. Piccolo demonstrated this technique twice. On planet Namek, he fused with Nail, a warrior-type Namekian who had been mortally wounded by Frieza. This fusion increased Piccolo's power dramatically, allowing him to fight Frieza's second form on equal footing. The merger was permanent. Nail's consciousness remained within Piccolo, occasionally offering advice or commentary, but Piccolo's personality dominated completely. Years later, Piccolo fused with Kami, the other half of his soul that had separated when his father expelled the evil from his heart to become Earth's guardian. This reunion created a complete Namekian whose power rivaled the Super Saiyans of that era. Piccolo became strong enough to fight Android 17 evenly, and later served as a powerful warrior throughout the Cell games. Namekian Fusion offers several advantages. It's completely permanent with no time limit or energy drain. The dominant warrior gains all the assimilated Namekian's techniques, memories, and battle experience instantly. Multiple fusions can be performed. A Namekian could theoretically assimilate dozens of others, though this requires willing participants. The technique's limitation lies in its exclusivity. Only Namekians can perform this fusion. The assimilated warrior essentially ceases to exist as an individual, though their consciousness may linger within the dominant personality. This makes it a sacrifice. The weaker Namekian gives up their individual existence for the greater good. Grand Elder Guru explained that ancient Namekians used this technique to preserve their race's knowledge and power. When Namekians faced extinction, warriors would assimilate to ensure their culture survived through the strongest among them. Level 2. Metamoran Fusion Dance, Base Synchronization. The fusion dance originates from the Metamoran race, inhabitants of a distant planet in Universe 7. This technique requires 2 warriors of roughly equal power to perform a precise, synchronized dance. Success creates an entirely new being with combined power that far exceeds either individual fighter. Goku learned the fusion dance while training in Otherworld after sacrificing himself against Cell. The Metamorans taught him this technique, which he later passed on to Goten and Trunks to combat Majin Buu's threat. The dance requires perfect execution. Both participants must mirror each other's movements exactly while equalizing their power levels. They extend their arms, step to the sides, then swing around and touch their fingertips together while saying "Fusion." If performed correctly, light engulfs both warriors and they merge into a single fighter wearing Metamoran clothing. Failed fusions occur when the dance isn't perfectly synchronized or power levels don't match exactly. When Goten and Trunks first attempted fusion, their imperfect execution created Fat Gotenks, an overweight, weak version who could barely move. Another failed attempt produced Skinny Gotenks, a skeletal, frail fighter with no significant power. These failed fusions last the full 30 minutes, leaving the fighters helpless until diffusion occurs. Successful fusion creates Gotenks, a cocky, powerful warrior combining Goten and Trunks. Gotenks possesses techniques from both fighters plus new abilities unique to the fusion. His personality blends childish arrogance from both boys, creating a fighter who's incredibly powerful but dangerously overconfident. The fusion dance lasts exactly 30 minutes. After this period, the fusion automatically ends regardless of the situation. Once diffused, both warriors must wait 1 hour before attempting fusion again, as their bodies need time to recover. Vegeta represents another fusion dance success. When Goku and Vegeta perform the dance, they create a warrior who combines Goku's battle genius with Vegeta's tactical precision. Gogeta appeared in Dragon Ball Super Broly, where even his base form demonstrated power that overwhelmed Broly's transformed state. The fusion dance's weakness lies in its strict requirements. Power levels must match exactly. The stronger fighter must lower their power to match their partner. The dance takes several seconds to perform, leaving both warriors vulnerable during execution. Any mistake creates a failed fusion that wastes 30 minutes. These limitations make the fusion dance risky during combat. Before we reach the God tier fusions, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Level 3, Super Saiyan Fusion Dance, Amplified Synchronization. The fusion dance's true potential emerges when both participants transform into Super Saiyans before merging. This creates a fusion who starts in Super Saiyan form, multiplying their base power by 50 immediately upon formation. Super Saiyan Gotenks debuted during the Majin Buu saga. After mastering the standard fusion, Goten and Trunks performed the dance while both transformed into Super Saiyans. The resulting warrior possessed enough power to challenge Super Buu, creating techniques like the Super Ghost Kamikaze attack and Galactic Donut. Super Saiyan Gotenks pushed his transformation further by achieving Super Saiyan 3, a form neither Goten nor Trunks could access individually. This transformation demonstrated fusion's multiplicative nature. The combined power of two fighters in the same transformation creates exponentially greater strength than either could achieve alone. However, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks burned through the 30-minute fusion time rapidly. The form's massive energy drain, combined with fusion's time limit, meant Gotenks could maintain Super Saiyan 3 for only about 5 minutes before defusing. This forced him to finish battles quickly or risk diffusion mid-combat. Super Saiyan Gogeta appeared in Fusion Reborn, though this movie existed outside the main timeline. The fusion of Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta created a warrior who defeated Janemba, a reality-warping demon, within minutes. Gogeta's power in this form exceeded anything the individual Saiyans could achieve. The amplified fusion demonstrates perfect power multiplication. If base Gogeta equals Goku plus Vegeta multiplied by dozens of times, Super Saiyan Gogeta multiplies that already massive base by 50. This creates power levels that can overwhelm enemies who completely outclass the individual fighters. Energy management becomes critical with Super Saiyan Fusion. The transformation drains stamina faster than base fusion while maintaining the same 30-minute limit. Higher Super Saiyan forms accelerate this drain exponentially. Super Saiyan 3 Fusion can barely last 5 minutes before the immense power consumption forces diffusion. This level proves that fusion's power isn't simply additive, it's multiplicative. Two Super Saiyans don't create a fusion twice as strong as one Super Saiyan. They create a fusion dozens of times stronger, with access to transformations neither individual could achieve alone. Level 4, Potara Fusion, Supreme Kai's Method. Potara Fusion represents the Supreme Kai's ancient fusion technique, utilizing mystical earrings worn by Kaioshin throughout the multiverse. This method produces fusions more powerful and stable than the fusion dance. The Supreme Kai and Kibito demonstrated Potara Fusion after Majin Buu's emergence. They each wore one Potara earring, Supreme Kai on his left ear, Kibito on his right. When the earrings came within proximity, an irresistible force pulled both Kais together, merging them into Kibito Kai permanently. Elder Kai gave his Potara earrings to Goku when Majin Buu threatened Earth's existence. He explained that if Goku wore one earring and gave the other to another warrior who wore it on the opposite ear, they would fuse permanently. Goku attempted this with Gohan, but Gohan never reached him. Vegito emerged when Goku threw a Potara earring to Vegeta inside Super Buu's body. Initially, both Saiyans resisted fusion, but desperation forced cooperation. They wore the earrings, merged instantly, and created a warrior who effortlessly dominated Super Buu even after he had absorbed Gohan, Piccolo, Trunks, and Goten. Vegito's personality combines Goku's playful confidence with Vegeta's strategic arrogance. Unlike Gotenks' childish overconfidence, Vegito displays calculated cockiness backed by overwhelming power. He toyed with Super Buu, allowing absorption deliberately to rescue his friends from inside Buu's body. The permanence claim was later retconned. Dragon Ball Super revealed that Potara Fusion lasts 1 hour for mortals but remains permanent for Supreme Kais. Vegito's diffusion inside Buu's body occurred due to the unique environment corrupting the Potara's magic, not because the hour expired. Potara Fusion offers significant advantages over Fusion Dance. No synchronization or equal power levels are required. Warriors of vastly different strengths can fuse. The fusion happens instantly with no vulnerable dance sequence. The resulting warrior combines both fighters' techniques perfectly, with no failed fusion risk. The fusion also proves more stable. Potara Fusions maintain consistent power output without the Fusion Dance's stamina concerns. They can transform multiple times without affecting the 1-hour time limit for mortals. This stability makes Potara Fusion the preferred method when available. Old Kai's Potara were given freely, though Supreme Kai earrings are rare artifacts. Gowasu's Potara in Universe 10 enabled Zamasu's fusion with his future self. Potara Fusion can even merge the same person from different timelines, as fused Zamasu demonstrated. Level 5. Super Saiyan Blue Potara Fusion, God Key Synchronization. Combining Potara Fusion with Super Saiyan Blue creates power that challenges divine beings. This represents the highest canon fusion level achieved in the main Dragon Ball Super timeline. Vegito Blue emerged during the Future Trunks saga when Goku and Vegeta fused to combat fused Zamasu. Both Saiyans had mastered Super Saiyan Blue, a transformation combining Super Saiyan power with godly ki. Their Potara Fusion inherited this divine energy, creating a warrior with god-level power multiplied by fusion. The resulting fighter completely overwhelmed, fused Zamasu initially. Vegito Blue's speed allowed him to pummel Zamasu before the immortal god could react. His final Kamehameha, combining Goku's signature technique with Vegeta's final flash, would have finished Zamasu if not for the enemy's immortality granted by Super Shenron. However, Super Saiyan Blue's massive energy consumption created unexpected consequences. The form drains ki exponentially faster than standard Super Saiyan transformations. When combined with Potara Fusion's energy requirements, the strain proved too great. Vegito diffused after only minutes, far short of the supposed 1-hour limit. This premature diffusion shocked everyone. Gowasu explained that the tremendous power output destabilized the Potara Fusion. The earrings couldn't sustain such godly energy for the full hour with mortal users. This limitation means that while Vegito Blue possesses greater power than any other fusion, he can maintain it for only brief periods. The power demonstrated remains undeniable. Vegito Blue moved faster than fused Zamasu could perceive, landed attacks that damaged an immortal god, and displayed enough strength to potentially destroy someone who had wished for absolute immortality. His Spirit Sword technique, a blade of pure ki energy, could slice through Zamasu's body despite his invincibility. This level shows that God Ki amplifies fusion exponentially but creates severe instability. The same divine power that makes Vegito Blue capable of challenging gods also limits his existence to minutes. It's a trade-off between maximum power and sustainability. Vegito Blue can accomplish in minutes what lesser fusions couldn't achieve in hours, but those minutes pass quickly. The fusion also demonstrates perfect ki control. Vegito Blue combined Goku's Ultra Instinct potential with Vegeta's God Ki mastery, creating a fighter who wielded divine energy with precision that neither individual Saiyan achieved alone. Level 6. Non-Canon Fusions, movie and game exclusives. Beyond the main timeline, Dragon Ball movies and video games introduced fusions that exist outside official continuity but demonstrate interesting power concepts. Gogeta's first appearance came in Dragon Ball Z Fusion Reborn, a movie outside the main timeline. When Janemba corrupted the afterlife and reality began collapsing, Goku and Vegeta performed the fusion dance. Their first attempt failed, creating Fat Gogeta, who accomplished nothing. The second attempt succeeded, creating Super Saiyan Gogeta, who defeated Janemba within minutes using the Soul Punisher technique. This movie established Gogeta as Goku and Vegeta's fusion dance counterpart to their Potara Fusion Vegito. Gogeta displays a more serious, focused personality compared to Vegito's playful arrogance. He finishes battles efficiently rather than toying with opponents. Dragon Ball Super. Broly brought Gogeta into official canon. When Broly's power exceeded both Goku and Vegeta's individual capabilities, they performed the fusion dance. After one failed attempt creating Fat Gogeta briefly, they successfully fused. Base Gogeta matched Broly's transformed state, then Super Saiyan Gogeta overwhelmed him. Finally, Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta delivered attacks that shattered dimensions and would have killed Broly if not for Chi-Li's wish. EX Fusion appears in Dragon Ball Fusions, a Nintendo 3DS game. This technique combines fusion dance movements with a Metamoran device, creating EX versions of fused warriors. These fusions blend physical features from both participants more obviously than standard fusions. While not canon, EX Fusion represents an interesting alternative fusion method. Dragon Ball Heroes introduces numerous game-exclusive fusions. These include various combinations of characters who never fused in canon, creating fighters for gameplay purposes. Heroes treats fusion liberally, allowing combinations impossible in the main series. These non-canon fusions serve different purposes than canonical ones. Movie fusions showcase spectacular battles and transformations without affecting the main story. Game fusions provide fan service and gameplay variety. While not part of official continuity, they're licensed by Toei and Bandai, making them legitimate Dragon Ball media. The distinction between canon and non-canon fusions matters for power scaling, but not for cultural impact. Gogeta resonated with fans despite appearing in non-canon movies initially. His eventual canonical debut in Dragon Ball Super, Broly validated years of fan demand. Drop a comment below on which fusion you think represents the biggest power leap: Potara's stability or Super Saiyan Blue's divine energy. Level 7, God Tier Multiversal Fusions, Heroes Exclusives. The highest conceptual fusion level exists in Dragon Ball Heroes, a promotional anime and game series featuring timeline-crossing warriors and reality-warping transformations. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta debuted in Dragon Ball GT when Goku and Vegeta fused to combat Omega Shenron. The Super Saiyan 4 transformation represents an alternative path to godhood through Saiyan biology rather than divine ki. When two Super Saiyan 4 seconds fuse, they create a warrior whose power approaches universal scale destruction. This Gogeta displayed reality warping abilities during his brief appearance. He altered the laws of physics around him, turning his battle into surreal comedy where attacks became confetti, and Omega Shenron's ultimate technique bounced harmlessly away. His power exceeded anything seen in GT, though his playful personality wasted time until diffusion. Dragon Ball Heroes escalated fusion further. Xeno Gogeta combines alternate timeline versions of Goku and Vegeta using forms and transformations from across Dragon Ball media. Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker represents Heroes' unique power-up, pushing Super Saiyan 4 beyond its GT limitations. These Heroes-exclusive fusions battle opponents who threaten entire timelines and multiverses. Demigra, Dark King, Mechikabura, and other Heroes villains possess power that manipulates space-time itself. The fusions created to combat them must operate on similarly reality-bending levels. Theoretical fusions explore concepts impossible in canon. Super Saiyan 4 Vegito never appeared in GT, but exists in Heroes and various games. Combining Potara's stability with Super Saiyan 4's primal power creates hypothetical warriors whose strength metrics become meaningless. They simply win because the plot requires ultimate power. These fusions exist more as concepts than characters. They appear briefly, demonstrate overwhelming power, then disappear. Their purpose isn't narrative development, but spectacle, showing fans the absolute ceiling of fusion power without limitations. The distinction between canon and Heroes content is significant. Main series Dragon Ball maintains internal consistency and power scaling. Heroes abandons these restrictions, creating whatever fusion or transformation serves the moment. This freedom allows exploration of what-if scenarios fans imagine. Power scaling at this level becomes arbitrary. When fusions can destroy dimensions, manipulate time, and rewrite reality, comparing them mathematically loses meaning. They're strong enough to defeat whatever threat appears, existing as power fantasies rather than logically consistent fighters. From Namekian spiritual assimilation to multiversal reality warping fusions, Dragon Ball's fusion mechanics represent escalating philosophies about combined power and identity. Namekian Fusion taught that sacrifice and unity preserve culture and strength. The fusion dance showed that perfect synchronization between equals creates power greater than simple addition. Super Saiyan amplification proved that fusion multiplies transformations exponentially. Potara Fusion demonstrated that divine artifacts create stable, overwhelming combinations. Super Saiyan Blue Fusion revealed that God Ki pushes fusion to limits that strain even mystical earrings. Non-Canon Fusions explored possibilities beyond main timeline constraints. And God-tier Heroes Fusions represent the absolute conceptual ceiling power without meaningful limits. The progression shows evolution from permanent identity sacrifice to temporary power boosts, from biological restriction to universal accessibility, from logical power scaling to narrative spectacle. Each level tested different aspects of fusion cultural tradition, technical precision, transformation, multiplication, divine stability, energy management, creative freedom, and conceptual limits. Dragon Ball's fusions work as both narrative tools and power fantasy fulfillment. They solve impossible situations, create spectacular battles, and let fans see their favorite characters combined into ultimate warriors. The variety of methods, biological, technical, divine, promotional, ensures fusion remains fresh across decades of content. True strength came not from the fusion method, but from the warriors choosing to combine. Piccolo and Nail fused to stop Frieza, Goten and Trunks fused to protect Earth. Goku and Vegeta, rivals who spent years refusing cooperation, fused repeatedly because saving others mattered more than pride. The most powerful fusions required warriors overcoming differences and trusting completely. The fusion concept itself represents Dragon Ball's core philosophy: working together creates strength impossible alone. Whether through Namekian sacrifice, Metamoran dance, or Kaioshin earrings, two warriors becoming one demonstrates that cooperation transcends individual limits. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.